this week's Fix It Friday, we're going to be repairing a Super Nintendo. I'm actually going to take these two that I showed you before with no power slot and good power slot. And we're actually going to do a different repair than I usually do. We're going to take off this entire assembly with the power switch and then swap it onto this one, which is a working system. This one is broken, has a good power jack. This one is not broken, has a broken power jack. So we're going to swap the two out, which I haven't actually done before, but I've swapped out the jack with the second one quite a few times, but I've never actually replaced it with an original, so this will be a learning experience. So let's have some fun. Alright, so to get started, the first thing we need to do is to take off this plate on the one we're replacing the one into. Fortunately, I've already done that, so I'll save you the time there. You can see on the original board where the original contacts come through the board here for the power supply, and the rest of it just bolts on. We don't actually need to take off the socket or the RF switch or anything like that, so this actually isn't a very complicated procedure. It's a little tedious, but I'll show you. I think putting it back together will be the more difficult part. So let's get the replacement board. This is the one that I showed you guys a few videos ago. I'll put a link to that in the corner. I don't know actually which way my camera's pointing, but it'll be in one of the corners. I don't know if you guys can even see my hands. I'm trying out a new tripod angle. We'll see how this works. Let me know in the comments if you guys like this better than the other, so you can get a more close-up look of what I'm actually doing instead of just getting an over-the-shoulder look like you've been getting. See if I can prop this up. Let's use this really expensive speaker and prop up this Super Nintendo. Whatever. Alright, so we've got our handy dandy desoldering pump that I do love so much. And we're just going to hit these guys here until they get nice and wet and siphon the solder away. We're probably going to have to do this a few times. There's a lot of solder on these guys. Sometimes you even have to come back in with the wick and get that last little bit. Solder wick here. So we'll just get the last little bit here with the solder wick. See, it's nice and loose already. Let me get the other one off. Also, I didn't mention it before, I do like to do this with this screw in still. This is actually the screw that goes into the bottom of this plate. I probably have taken the top ones off already. I actually don't remember. I took this apart quite a while back. Yeah, I've already taken the screws out of the top of it here and here, but I like to leave in this bottom one for alignment when I'm taking these out. It helps keep it from shifting around and re-sticking to the sides, and just makes life a little bit easier. But that should just about do it. There's still a smidge sticking on the sides here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'll show you a quick, easy trick to get that out. It might end up being one of those don't try this at home things, but it's how I do it. So I'll just say that's how I do it. And if you don't think it's safe, then don't try it. That sound fair? Seems fair to me. So pop that screw out. Now this whole assembly should be nice and loose, nice and wiggly there. And then, so once you've got it loose, just take the solder iron and pop on the top of these guys and just get it a little warm. It'll just pop right out. It is a little tricky to get it out with the RF modulator still in there. But I don't know if you can see that or not. I really need to get a good camera with a viewfinder on it instead of just using my phone. That way I can see what you guys can see. I don't have to keep saying, I don't know if you can see that or not. But that involves funding, and funding is something I don't have, at least not right now. So this is what the not broken one looks like. It's this nice little shaft down in here still intact. All the original pins and everything. It's kind of gross, but that's to be expected. It's very, very old. Alright, so let's grab the board it's going back onto, which is this guy. And these are actually different revisions. I don't know if you could tell from the original shot there. The one we just pulled that from, is actually an original run Super Nintendo. It actually has the separate sound module here that plugs in the SVHC sound and uses a completely different motherboard layout than the later runs like this one. If I took this cover off, you'd be able to see, hey, there we go. Those audio chips that are on the SVHC module are actually built into the board on this model. So, little fun fact, they both use the exact same housing, same controller ports, same outer back panels, same switches. Just one had the sound built into the board and they redesigned it and made it smaller, whereas the original one is the, you can see it says on the board SVHC CPU01. This is the original run. It is a bit of a shame my original one, well, it's not my original one, the original run one that I have, the video RAMs have gone bad in it, so what can you do besides replace them? But that is not something that I'm doing. It's not something that I have on the agenda for any kind of project anytime soon, because that does not sound fun. So there we go. This is the one I took off of here. There we go. So this guy will turn around here. And like I said, it is pretty interesting that they have completely different board layouts on the inside, but all these external pieces are identical. And that's so nice. This is the part I haven't done before, getting the actual pins back into this thing. So, wish me luck. Okay, so looks like the RF module isn't soldered down for quite a ways back there, so we're going to try and bend that up a little bit and just get a better angle going in here. Okay, there we go. And then we'll bend that back down into place. And just like before, we are going to take this screw and go back in here just to help make sure everything is aligned before I actually resolder the ports back on. Okay, and that looks pretty square. Okay. My nice cheap tube of Walmart solder here. It is not very high quality solder, but it does the job. Oh, right. Let's lean it up so you guys can see a little better. Alright, so just get it hot. Another soldering tip for you guys. With big pads like this, you do have to let it sit on there a little longer, but you'll generally get a better flow if you add the solder from the opposite side of your soldering iron. Also, try not to breathe these fumes. They're probably not good for your health. And just let it cool down as naturally as possible. Let's get the next one. There we go. Just to make a nice big foot like there was before. And that's beautifully done. So, that did not take even a third of as long as I thought it would. So I guess we'll actually plug this thing up and see if it works. Because I assumed that it works. I'm pretty sure I tested it. Side note, this is the one that we stole the fuse from earlier. So we're going to have to make a little jumper. This is not a permanent solution. I do not recommend this at all. Don't do this. Just as a demonstration of showing you guys that I actually did fix this thing. one turn on for you. Yeah, there's not enough solder on that pad. Where's my solder go? I probably ought to invest in a solder station at some point, or actually has one of those soldering irons with the solder spools and controllable voltage, and a man can dream. But those are outside my budget. So Walmart soldering iron it is. I actually don't remember if this was Walmart or Harbor Freight, but it was one of the two. Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. Redo that, Baca. I guess that's a good learning example. So this is a good example of why you tin wires before you try to attach them. See how sloppy that joint looks? That's a very brittle joint. We could break that off very, very easily. But if we tin the wire first, come on, a little bit of solder on there. Also, use pliers when you get down to this short of a wire. You can hold it, but it hurts. Alright, so with the tinning, if you don't drop your pliers, it goes a lot better. There we go. Just look how much better that joint looks. So we'll actually pop this off and tin the individual wire, because I might do a sloppy job with hardware modifications, but I do like my solder to look good. Okay. And again, don't do this. This is a very bad idea. The only reason I'm doing it is, again, to show you guys that this thing does actually work now. So today, instead of using the Apple II monitor, we're going to use my little portable LCD, which keeps falling over and is really, really annoying and I hate using, but it works. So video out, we're gonna run to crappy LCD. We're gonna have audio today too, because I found this little guy at Walmart, which I've had a few of, and they are a lot of fun. And I'm actually gonna be tearing that one apart for a different project, but more on that later. So what else do we need? We need a power switch. Okay. And we need a crappy game. Another Vegas Stakes adventure here. And we need to plug in the power supply, which is terrible, and another reason why you should never ever jumper your fuses. One of the other reasons I went ahead and did it was because I know exactly what will blow out if it does blow out, so I can fix it. Alright, so not sure if it's working or not. Whew, that's really loud. So the audio is working. I don't have my power turned on for the screen, so there we go. Scan lines are a little off, which is weird. Let's try the other input. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not, but it's actually scrolling really weird. Here we are. I'm not sure if that's actually something wrong with the Nintendo or something wrong with the screen. Alright. So the Apple II monitor looks like it's working just fine there. So it looks like it's just an issue between the Super and my little crappy screen. No idea why this little crap screen is refreshing wrong, but let's try switching to 5 volts instead of 12. It does have a pretty high range there. Yeah, it didn't make any difference. Maybe we'll take a look at that in a later episode of Fix It Friday. Fix It Friday! Woo! That's not going to be my theme song for this. If you guys want to write a theme song, feel free. Send it in. I will absolutely throw it in. It'll be fun. Alright guys, that's it for now. Hit like if you liked the video, dislike it if you disliked it. If you like the new camera angles, let me know. If there's anything you want to see me do differently, feel free. Leave me a message down in the comments. Hit subscribe. We've got a lot more content coming soon. We're going to be finishing up the Wii toaster very soon. Lady Bucka's dancing behind the camera trying to make me laugh, and it's kind of working. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to keep these Fix It Fridays short. I know my videos are pretty long. My cat has come to join us. Look, there's a cat on YouTube. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. Yeah, stay away from the soldering iron. See you guys next time.